Alright, so last night, whenever I do a movie review, right, I always, I always like to tell the story, my mindset. So last night, I got high and I got a little drunk. I had some back pain. I don't know why. Maybe I pulled a muscle. I don't know. But anyway, so, and then I decided, you know what? Halloween's coming up. October's coming up. I'm planning a spooky marathon session. So, let me watch some non-spooky movies before we get in while I still have time. And you know what? I had to finish off a trilogy. And so last night, I watched the Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone. And so, I watched the recut version at the behest of the Letterhack in the chat, who said, if you watch the original, I will murder you. That's what the Letterhack said on Twitter. Go look at Letterhack's Twitter. He said, if you watch the original version and not the recut, I will literally murder you. That's what he said. So I watched the recut, obviously at gunpoint. And now, so again, I don't know. To me, I don't know the differences between the recut and the original. I've never seen the original, so I can't possibly weigh in on that angle of this. I'm getting into this trilogy a little late, I know. So I'm not doing like a comparative thing. Maybe in the future I'll watch the original cut. I don't know. But anyway, I gotta say, this movie, oops all bangers. Oops all bangers. Every Godfather movie, 10 out of 10. I don't know what to tell you. But it's a good fucking movie. Like, holy shit, man. It was a really good movie. And so, the parts of it that I really enjoyed, first of all, I love, like, the old Michael Corleone. Like, he looks like, because it's like, the movie was shot 16 years after part 2, right? So Al Pacino's obviously aged up, but then they aged him up hella with the makeup and shit. And so he looks like an old-ass motherfucker. And I thought his acting was incredible. Like, just every scene with him in it is just, again, oops all bangers, right? Oh my god, what a great movie. And then the new character, I think my main critique of this movie was that the new character, like, they kind of just made up a new character out of nowhere. And I don't know, like, someone being a nobody and then turning into, like, the new Don of the Mafia, like, in, like, less than a year. I'm a little skeptical, but you know what? It was such a good movie that I'm okay with it. Like, the skepticism doesn't matter because the movie is so good that it's okay. One thing I liked about this movie is they covered the fact that Michael Corleone got married in Italy in the first movie, and then, like, the wife died in, like, a week or something, right? And then they just never mentioned it again. In, like, part 1 and part 2, they never mentioned it again. But in part 3, right, like, they mention it because the other wife is like, oh yeah, and I heard you got married in Italy, by the way. And then, so I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, the new character, Vincent, I forget the original last name, but, he renames himself to Corleone at the end. But anyway, I thought the acting from him was fantastic. I love the scene when he's with that media bitch who I thought was going to be like a recurring character, but then they just kind of throw her away, and I don't know. I love that scene where he's like fucking with the guys who try to kill him in the night. Like, that was super badass. Okay, so now we got to talk about the cousin incest. But is it cousin incest? I don't know. Like, what? Like, is it incest in name only? I don't know, man. Like, okay, so this is like the biggest part of this movie that people wanted me to touch on is the character of Michael's daughter being like so horny for her cousin. Hey, what the? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. That was way too weird for me. I don't know. I was definitely grossed out by that shit. But, like, are they technically cousins? I don't think so, right? Like, I don't think they're technically blood related. But, like, they're still, like, familial cousins. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre shit. Like, I don't know. I felt like that was really unnecessary. I felt like the movie would have been a lot better. If that, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have been, I don't know, I don't know what was going on there. I I love the scene where the commission gets fucking attacked by the helicopters. Like, they're all like, whoa, we're rich now at the commission. And then the helicopter comes in and just fucking... Right? That was crazy shit. That was crazy shit. One of my favorite themes of this movie is how, like, in part 2, Michael Corleone is like, he's like, I gotta make the business, get away from the crime. We gotta be legitimate. That's his big thing, right? Is that, like, you know, Vito wanted Michael to always be in a legitimate sense. He didn't want him to get involved in the mafia stuff, right? And then Michael's, like, spending all of his, like, reign trying to become legitimate. And I love the scene, like, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. It was so good. And then you got the Michael Corleone, like, diabetes arc, where he's, like, constantly falling over. I need orange juice. Give me some candy. You know, that was entertaining. He's eating too much spaghetti, that motherfucker. And so the name of the movie is The Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone. And the thing about this, that having that title is so good, because at the end scene, I thought this guy was going to get Abraham Lincoln, right? When the assassins, like, you know, got the gun and he's, like, aiming at him, right? I totally thought he was going to get Lincoln, right? Because it's called The Death of Michael Corleone. I thought maybe he's going to get shot. Maybe someone in his family's going to die too, right? And then, like, then they start walking away, right? And then, like, you know, he gets shot, but wait, he didn't get shot. The bullet missed and hit the daughter, who was just confused. That scene, man, I was losing it. I'm not gonna lie, I was losing it. Because, like, she was confused. She didn't even know what happened. Like, she's just dead now. Right? And then, like, when fucking, you know, Al Pacino is screaming into the, but, like, you know, the screams are, like, not audible. Like, you just see him freaking out, and then the last one, they make it audible. Oh, that was banger. 10 out of 10, man. I'm telling you, these movies, I don't know how I'd never seen it. I've seen bits and pieces of the first two throughout my life, but I'd never watched them all in a single sitting. You know, one of these days I'm gonna, like, you know, do some mushrooms and watch all three of them in a row, but that'll be one of these days, not today or yesterday. But anyway, man, these, oops, all bangers. You know, again, like, every single one is a 10 out of 10. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, it's all great. Right? But, like, again, the subtitle, The Death of Michael Corleone, makes you think he's going to die at the end. But instead, he just dies of old age. Right? Like, and that's how they get you. That's how they get you. They got me. I'm not going to lie. I got. I was thinking he was going to get shot or assassinated. Nope, his kid dies, and he just dies depressed, alone, and defeated of old age. It's great. I mean, it's great. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's just, it's great. It's great. It's a great movie. The whole Vatican thing, by the way, I don't know much about. Like, I know it was, like, apparently real life events that were used for the basis of this story. Where there was, like, like an assassination plot to kill the Pope or something that happened in the early 80s. I looked into it a little bit because I was like, is this real? So, like, you know, the event of the Pope being assassinated in that fashion is real, right? But the characters that play these, like, they're completely fictitious, right? So I like that. I think that's interesting. Yeah, I love that the Vatican and the religious people, right? Like, it's all a front, and they are just as violent as the gangsters. And I love that, because I think religion is garbage. I'm anti-religion, but I love the idea that gangsters use religion as, like, a front, right, to make themselves seem like they're upstanding members of society. But behind the scene, most people in religious communities, they are power-hungry, greedy gangsters, right? And so maybe, and again, they don't need to send helicopters to murder people, you know, like, in real life all the time, but they do the same effect with the way that they kind of try to govern the whole world. It's some crazy shit. But anyway, what a film. I mean, wow. Banger. 10 out of 10. I don't know how it happens. I don't know how you can make so many good ass movies, but they're all just so fucking good. So next time I watch the trilogy, I'll watch the original cut, see what's different. Personally, I didn't find the acting from Sofia Coppola too bad. But I'm under the impression that the recut took some of the really bad stuff out. I'm not sure. I don't know. But anyway, I thought it was a fantastic film. All three movies. I think 1 and 2, I think the pacing of 1 and 2 was a little better. But I think that's really just explained from the fact that 1 and 2 were made back to back, and then the other one was made 16 years later. So, you know, I think they're all really great. But, goddamn. 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 That's all I can say.